After a stellar high school career, Bing attended Syracuse University, where he had a career average of nearly 25 points and earned All-America honors as a senior. He and Michigan standout Cazzie Russell lined up as the two top picks in the 1966 draft, but they were surprised by the eventual outcome.
I was under the assumption that I would surely go to the Knicks. Being upstate Syracuse, we played in the Garden as a collegiate player several times, and Detroit had never contacted me when it came time to draft. Everybody made the assumption that Cazzie would automatically go to Detroit from right down the road from Ann Arbor, and I would go to New York. But it didn't happen that way. Dave DeBusschere, who became my first coach, called the coin flip, and they thought they called it wrong. He called heads, and it came up tails, and the Knicks drafted Cazzie, and I went to Detroit, and I wasn't really welcome there because nobody had heard of me in Detroit, and it was difficult in the beginning.
Bing struggled early on, and fans witnessing his league debut never would have believed they were watching a future Hall of Famer.
Well, my first pro game was against Cincinnati Royals at that time with the great Oscar Robertson. And I was so in awe of Oscar that I just played poorly. That's the first time in my life that I went scoreless in a game. I got 6 shots and didn't make a shot. And Oscar just totally demoralized me, took advantage of me, and that was a rude awakening in my entry into the NBA.
It didn't take long for Bing to adjust to the league. He averaged 20 points in his first season and was named Rookie of the Year.
I started to really study the game, to learn the game, understand my opponents, their strengths, their weaknesses, and had to figure out how to play to my strengths. And my strength was quickness. And I had jumping ability for a guy my size. So a lot of the guards who were my size, I was quicker. And any guy that was smaller than me, I usually could out-jump them. And the bigger guys, I got around pretty easy. So DeBusschere had an offense that once again allowed us to run, baseline to baseline. We didn't have a great team, but I guess I matured pretty quick on that team, and things worked out well for me.
Dave Bing outside. Bingo, and I'm glad to see it happen.
But once again, it was a situation I had to overcome and persevere and win people over. And after a few games and people saw that I could play, I think they said Detroit made the right choice.